What's up guys, it's Brandon here, and in these times, these high interest rates times, you may be wondering, hey, what's the best investment vehicle to put the money I'm not using in to actually earn some money with really low risk? And that's what this video is going to essentially be about. One single mutual fund that is currently paying 5.42% yield at the time of shooting this video. Now that mutual fund is a BlackRock fund and the ticker symbol is TMCXX. Now this is a temporary cash fund where typically most people who are buying into this are just looking for a place to store extra cash that they're not using. They're not using it to invest in the stock market, whether it be single stocks or ETFs. They're not using it to buy investment properties or real estate. They're not really using the money for anything at all, and they want to essentially beat inflation and keep their money, essentially park their money somewhere that's safe, that there's not a lot of volatility, that actually produces a decent return. And that's exactly why I picked TMCXX to store extra cash that I'm not using. And you may have seen from the title of this video or the thumbnail or both that I'm earning a little over $400 a month via a dividend from this mutual fund. Now, of course, you can do reverse engineering and say, oh, well, how much money does he have to have in this mutual fund to earn over $400 a month? So I'll save you the calculations and just tell you what the number is. So I currently have a little over $93,000 in TMCXX in this mutual fund. So if you do 5.43% or whatever it is today, you'll get the exact payout or number of what that is. So say, you don't have to put a ton of money in here, right? You can put $1,000 in, there's no minimum. You can put $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $50,000, whatever you want in, but the way you get the amount that you're gonna be able to get every single month in a dividend is you do that amount, so say it's 10,000 times 0.0543, or whatever it is when you're watching this video, and then you see what that number is, and then you divide that by 12 months, and then boom, that's what the fund would pay you out after you've been in the fund for a full month. The reason I picked this fund, this mutual fund, to store my cash was because I wanted something safe, easy, and liquid that got me the highest return. So one great thing about TMCXX is the fund is super liquid. All mutual funds trade after trading hours. So that means that when you put in a buy order, it's going to buy after hours. And when you put in a sell order, it's going to sell after hours. Now let's take a moment and actually look what this fund is made up of. Because again, you don't want to be investing in something that you have no idea what the investment is essentially made up of. So let's run through it real quick. The majority of this fund is going to be in certificate of deposits at a little over 20%. Secondly, financial company commercial paper at 19.4%. Non-negotiable time deposits at 17.15%, U.S. government agency repurchase agreements at 14.41%, other repurchase agreements 13.48%, asset-backed commercial paper at 9.09%, non-U.S. sovereign, sub-sovereign, and supranational debt at 2.05%, with non-financial company commercial paper making up 0.81% and U.S. Treasury debt making up 0.72%, with variable rate demand notes ranking at 0.70%. So that's essentially what this fund is made up of, essentially U.S.-backed debt. Another great thing about this fund is the expense ratio. It's essentially non-existent, meaning that you're not going to get charged an arm and a leg for owning this mutual fund, which is big. Who likes to pay fees when they don't have to pay them? So going back to the liquid part, I was able just to move a lump sum into this fund, and it was there within essentially one business day. Again, if you're not counting the weekends, an actual business day. When I go to sell any of the shares of this mutual fund, it'll also take 1 business day to get that money out. So that's called liquidity. You can buy into the fund and you can sell shares of the fund within 24 hours and get your money back. And that was something that was really important to me. Other than that, the fund or share price of the mutual fund doesn't really move. When I bought in, I think it was 1.0002. And now, at the time of shooting this video, the share price is 1.0005. So not a huge difference by any means. I think with all the money I have in there, the appreciation of the money from the 0.0002 to 0.005, I think was like maybe $18. So the share price or the buy-in price doesn't really move up or down. You buy this mutual fund for the yield, for the dividend that you're gonna get handed to you from the company every month. So when it comes to safety, that was a big factor for me. I just didn't want to buy into any old fund that paid a high return, right? I think we all know who BlackRock is, what they do, how much cash they have. If you don't know about BlackRock, just look up BlackRock as a company. They're one of the most cash-heavy companies in the entire world. And yes, there's one of the companies who are buying up all the single-family homes, overpaying for the homes, and then looking to rent them out. So yes, they're that company too. So I've held this mutual fund for going on 4 months now. And I can say that it's as easy as you think it is. You put a lump sum into the mutual fund. It takes 24 hours for them to, for the fund to actually purchase the shares. The next day, you have money in that account, and then boom, you wait until the end of the month, and then they pay you out based on how many days in that month you've actually held those shares. Now, I'm not going to be looking to stay in this mutual fund forever. As we mentioned earlier in the video, interest rates rise and they fall. So when it makes sense to take my money out of this BlackRock fund and put it into other investments like single stocks and ETFs or maybe in real estate, I'll go ahead and do that. But for now, it's a safe place to park money that pays me a decent yield and lets me stay with my head above inflation. Other than that, let's take a quick look at the fund managers and see who they are and what they do. So first up, we have Eric. He is the managing director and portfolio manager. If you guys want, you can look up a little bit more about his record and what he's done. And second, we have Edward, and he is the director, also portfolio manager. So it's always good to know who's managing whatever asset you're in, but at the end of the day, it's not going to make a huge difference. And again, this is something that you're probably going to be holding temporary just until interest rates drop. All right, guys, well, that's it. If you guys have any questions on the mutual fund, TMCXX, drop a comment below and I'll be sure to get back to you as best I can. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.